like to call it the Supernatural Hour. And now, our hosts.
Hey, welcome to the Supernatural Hour podcast. I'm your host, Raven.
This is Rogue.
This is Doc.
This is Chad.
And we have a new fellow with us tonight. I'll let you introduce yourself.
This is Emmett.
Welcome, Emmett. Are you going to have Emmett tell us a little bit about him, or are we going to wait for that?
Who's Emmett? Inquiring minds want to know.
Emmett is one of our team members.
An equipment specialist.
And we are going to have him talk about himself a little later in the podcast.
All right.
We're real glad to have Emmett with us tonight.
Thank you.
Let's go on to the business. The business is brought to you for this episode by Castle Photo Art. Castle does a great job. We've just recently had a number of photos done for the team. We're working on our year-end review. It'll be in December or January. It's going to be a dinner at a Golden Corral. We're still kind of working on the details out on that. We'll get more information for you on that. We're looking forward to meeting with everybody. We're not having any public investigations until after the holidays, but we do encourage everybody to donate to the Utah Food Bank. So go out and do that for December activity. We'll get a page up on the advancedparanormal.com site so that you can go out and make a direct donation to them. We aren't accepting any money for that, but we really encourage everybody to go out and donate to the Utah Food Bank.
Holidays just get so busy with everything. You're welcome, everybody, that you don't have one more thing to do. Although, you know what would be fun to do one of these years?
What's that?
Just kind of a Dickens-esque thing.
That could be fun.
All right, but we shall discuss that later. I won't make you listen to me think out loud. That's a painful.
I mean, there are Dickens-esque activities around,
but not with ghosts.
but not. Yeah, it's true. Because I'm going up to the This Is the Place Heritage Park for Candlelight Christmas this year. That's Dickens-esque, but I don't think they're going to talk about ghosts.
And where's that at?
This Is the Place Heritage Park, Salt Lake City, up by Hogle Zoo.
We were there earlier this summer, and there's lots of activity in some of those historic buildings.
There, Dickens and ghosts. Ha!
Well, not to say anything about Scrooge.
Yeah, I won't make you listen to me think out loud. That's a painful, painful process.
Okay, so I'm going to throw it over to Rogue.
All right. Well, Rogue doesn't have a lot to report on either. So residentials have been almost as quiet as what we've got going for business.
Right.
As quiet as a grave.
We had one residential, and then the gal needed to reschedule, and we've got one scheduled for tomorrow. So we will have a residential to talk about next podcast, but the one we had for tonight fell through.
And that's okay, because we had a busy October. So we
October was so busy. I've actually kind of liked the time off. But I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
And it sounds like the one that was canceled is going to be rescheduled, right?
Yes. It'll be rescheduled. She just couldn't do it that night. We're going to do our bucket list next, and it is brought to you by the Barbary Coast Saloon, which apparently they have a fabulous brunch, and we have not been able to get to the brunch. It's going to be next year before we get to the brunch, the way our Sundays are working out. So, Emmett, bucket list.
I would really like to investigate the Utah State Prison before they tear it down. We've got to get in there.
So, we have 2 or 3, 4 contacts, and we're working on it.
And we need to film that.
Oh, yes. So, keep your fingers crossed.
I understand they start transferring prisoners in June to the new facility. So it will be after that. Maybe we could do it section by section, because there's no way you could cover that in one or even 2 sessions. It's too big.
No, yeah, it's definitely, hopefully in the works. I heard that they were going to move inmates out in the spring. One of my contacts said he thinks that that's a very ambitious goal. It might not be till summer.
Okay.
So
see what happens.
But yeah,
that's the big place.
So I've actually been in the Utah State Prison.
It is kind of something wrong.
Yeah.
That's right. They did some serious stuff back in the day.
In the 1980s, we had a
Did you make it
softball
rain?
team. No, I didn't make it rain. We had a softball team. we went and played the state prison softball team in the state prison. It was a very interesting experience. Kind of creepy.
Did you win?
No, I think we lost. And I think we were kind of glad we lost.
Thank goodness.
No, they were very nice. The team that we played was very, very good sports, and they were a very good team. I guess they didn't have a lot else to do.
Yeah.
A lot of soft.
It's a fascinating building, and there's a weird feel about it.
When you think about it, how many abandoned places and how many, places that they do on Ghost Adventures and Taps and all these ghost shows that are old asylums, old hospitals, old prisons, old jails. I mean, there's definitely a vibe that I think attracts spirits there. And for a prison, it would be all the negativity of, the things that they've done and the remorse that they feel.
Or don't.
I was just going to
Yeah,
say the
or
remorse
lack
that
of.
they don't feel. Definitely a place to harbor some
And
negativity.
the whole idea of having your agency kind of stripped and being chained up or, penned up, I guess.
Regimented.
Regimented. There's a lot of negative feelings that
Oh, we
come
got
with lot
a
of
ton of research to do.
Oh yeah. And I've got people that we can talk to and get some stories, and it will be an experience when we get in there.
That is a great bucket list item, though, because not only is it a bucket list item for you to get in and see it, it's one of those situations where the facility will be going away shortly thereafter.
time sensitive.
Yep.
And will probably be turned into a subdivision.
Yep, lots of townhouses.
It'll be just like the movie Poltergeist, except it won't be on Graveyard. It'll be on an old prison thing with lots of bad juju.
Oh, I'm sure. Can you imagine?
Pretty great.
Cell Block C subdivision. Death Row subdivision.
Like Iron Bars Estates.
Just think of the street names you could come up with.
yeah.
Well, and this is Utah. They're not going to spell it normal.
Be big house. You always wanted to live in the big house.
Big House Boulevard.
You're home now.
And they're going to spell it with an EI or a Y in there somewhere.
Paranormal Junk Drawer is brought to you by Utah Freeze Dried for Pets. You can find us at utahfreezedriedforpets.com.
Okay, you guys are going to like the junk drawer. If you're one of our Patreons, you get a newsletter every quarter. I will spend hours scouring the internet for wonderful pictures to put in this newsletter. If you actually get the newsletter, you're probably rolling your eyes going, if you think those are fabulous pictures, you need help. I will just put in, winter ghost, snow ghost, all these words that are wintry, Christmas ghost, to try to get some artwork that's interesting. Anyway, I came across ghost apples.
Ghost apples.
Have you guys ever heard of ghost apples?
No.
No, of course, apples.
Road apples, but not
I've
ghost
heard of
apples.
crab apples and Honeycrisp apples.
I had a great aunt that made the best crab apple something. I was little. I've only had it once
Tarts,
or twice.
pies.
Just like spiced crab apples. They were amazing. Okay, so
But now we got ghost apples.
So off the subject. Sorry.
It's like a ghost pepper, but with apples?
Kind of. There was a farmer or a homeowner in Sparta, Michigan. He just happened to be the right place at the right time. This fellow's name was Andrew Sisema, and he was pruning some apple trees just after some freezing rain had hit. And we don't really get freezing rain in Utah.
But, Doc, tell them about freezing rain.
Freezing rain is a pain in the ass. Like, you go out of your car, you pull the door handle, and you just get a crack down your door. And, yeah, when I was in Texas, we had freezing rain, and I'm pretty sure, I want to say we had like 400 or 500 accidents in the metro area, and the police just stopped responding. They said, nope, you're on your own. Exchange information. Have a great day. And, yeah, we were pretty inundated for a few days at the hospital. So, freezing rain,
No good?
it's no fun.
So what happens, he's out there, and he got some pictures. And I'm going to put this picture up on TikTok so you can see it because they are really pretty. It looks like something you would see on your grandma's, coffee table in 1960 with her glass grapes.
And if you're watching this on YouTube, we'll have the pictures up right now.
Yep. But he called them ghost apples because what they are is they're hollowed out ice casings of apples that were never harvested. His particular apples were Jonagold, but he calls them Jona Ghosts. He said he estimated the ice to be about a half an inch thick and that the apples felt like Christmas tree bulbs. So what exactly is a ghost apple? There's a professor of agriculture and life science at Cornell University. Her name is Susan Brown and Herman Cohn. I guess there's two of them. And they were explaining that the flesh of some apples, especially ones that are left on trees, late in the season, will decay to almost like an applesauce consistency. And the skin will keep it in like it's filled with like a water balloon. And I've noticed this because we do have an apple tree in our backyard, and you get to this time of year and you have to go pick them up and they're just gross because you're going to pick it up and it's just going to mush everywhere. And these icy apples are actually really, really fragile, just FYI. But they said due to a combination of the freezing rain, the prolonged sub-zero temperatures, the ice initially encased the whole apple, but then the rotted apple mush just kind of seeps out of the bottom.
Falls out from the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
And then it just leaves a hollow impression of an apple. So have you ever done like egg blowing?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that.
Weird that all of us have, but yes.
Yeah, you poke a little hole in the top and a bigger hole in the bottom, and you just blow the egg out, and then you've got this hollow egg.
Shell.
Kind of the same thing.
It's really a fossil in ice
Yeah.
more than anything.
Yep.
Wow.
Brown coined the term ghost apple. Says, what I love about the story and the excitement it generated is that it showcases all the hard work our apple growers do in all weather conditions. The fact that Andrew Saisema was out in freezing conditions tending to his trees allowed him to capture this beautiful occurrence. Like I said, I will put this up. A lot of people think it's really rare, but she's actually heard, she meaning, the researcher, said she's heard from many researchers and growers that they have actually seen this before too, and it's most common with Golden Delicious and Jonagold apples.
I thought we were going to go in a different direction with this. I thought we were going to have like bushels of air that we could sell as ghost apples
We can do that too.
and make a ton of money.
Be looking at for on advanceparanormal.com/ghost apples.
I actually
We'll send you a bushel for $49.95.
I don't know if this is urban legend or not, but I have heard of people that sold air guitars on eBay.
See? If you can sell air guitars, why can't you sell invisible apples?
We can do that. Send them a box. They're ghost apples.
Exactly.
They're not guaranteed to manifest, but
They're there.
They're in the box, really.
Oh, honestly. Okay.
Hey, people made a lot of money with pet rocks. Ghost apples sounds cooler.
Yes, it does. Okay, Emmett, we are going to pick on you again today because you are new to our podcast, so we would like to hear a personal experience.
My wife was in the hospital recently for a serious condition. She's doing much better now, but while she was in the hospital, we were talking to one of the nurses who was caring for her, and we mentioned that we were paranormal investigators. And I told her that I detected a portal on the floor, and I asked this nurse if she wanted to know where it was. And she looked at me and said, "No, enough stuff happens here. I don't need to know anything else." And so I let it go. But about a week later, as we were checking out, the same nurse was there, and I asked her if she was ready to know where the portal was yet. And she said, "Okay, tell me." So I told her it's right in front of this nurse's station around the corner there at the end of the long hallway. And her eyes got really wide. And she said, that's right in front of rooms 21, 22, and 23. That's where all the weird stuff happens here. Of course, I just smiled and nodded, and she looked at us in a new light. I just love it when that kind of stuff happens.
Oh, when you get verification of things that you feel, yeah.
Oh, I knew it was there. But the fact that she'd mentioned that it had a history to it, too, and apparently was already known, that was cool.
That's awesome.
Well, thanks for listening. Get your Supernatural Hour swag at advanceparanormal.com. Got a whole bunch of interesting things. Mugs, shirts,
Tapestries.
Check it out, advanceparanormal.com.
Also, check out our shop at advanceparanormal.com for our sage sprays, our lavender and sage rollers, all of our personal made items.
Yeah, we moved a lot of those at the Paranormal Festival and the Haunted House. It's popular.
Bestseller.
Get
All
them
right.
for Christmas gifts.
Ho, ho, ho. Who doesn't want to find some sage spray in their stocking?
What about YouTube and TikTok?
No, we don't care about that.
Oh,
Are you kidding?
I care very much about YouTube and TikTok.
what's your TikTok count up to?
Yeah, I haven't looked at it for a couple of days. But I'm going to put ghost apples on so that everyone can see the ghost apples.
Oh, that'll help.
And then I will look. But the last time I looked, which was about 4 days ago, we had 1,627.
That's great. And our YouTube subscribers, thank you for subscribing. We're getting some additional subscriptions there. If you haven't subscribed, go out and look at it. We do add some of the additional images on our YouTube channel that you won't see just on the podcast. Things like ghost apples and those things, so you can kind of watch some of the things. A lot of it's kind of stock wisps and advanced paranormal photos, but we will, when we talk about specific things, we try to pull in photos that are specific to the information that we're talking about.
We
at the
put
time.
some stuff up on our Facebook page, but there's some stuff that are TikTok exclusives, mostly because it's easier.
But we appreciate that. Also, become a patron. There's some benefits with that. If you go out, you can get
My awesome clip art.
her clip art. We're going to get new,
That's worth the price of admission right there.
the new newsletter.
Clip art newsletter.
All of our patrons get.
And in the newsletter, you get to know what we're going to be podcasting about the entire quarter.
And we just found that out.
Yes, you did.
We've got different levels of patrons, $5 digital, and they go up with different benefits. So one of the benefits is our summer party that every patron is able to attend. So that was a great time this last summer.
And you get bonus podcasts.
Yep. Like you need them. No, like you need them.
There you go. That's better.
All right.
Stay spooky, my haunty friends.
Love you, Nicholas.
Have a good one.
Hey, good night.
Good night.
You've been listening to the Supernatural Hour at AdvancedParanormal.com. The Supernatural Hour is part of the Radio Ronin network found at RadioRonin.com. Copyright 2021 by Advanced Paranormal Services.